Hello, I'm Greg Hrutkay of Hrutkay Mods, and welcome to a very special episode where we will be introducing you to this iBook G3 Indigo clamshell. Now, this looks a whole lot like the one that was in episode 11 of Season 1 of the Power PC series, I think. But this isn't that model. In fact, this is a giveaway system here. I'm going to be giving this to one of you lucky viewers, one of my fans, and it's going to be an international giveaway. Yes, last year I said that I would eventually be doing an international giveaway, and this year I am. This is going to be available for any person in the world that it's legal to ship this to, basically. Anyone, including the U.S., but not limited to the U.S. Anywhere in the world that it's legal to ship this to, I will ship it to you, no cost to you, if you win, of course. This right here is an Indigo iBook G3 clamshell. It's the second generation clamshell with the Farrell airports and all that stuff. It's a 3.66 megahertz G3, and it's fully spec'd out. It's in pretty decent shape. In fact, the case is in better shape than my Indigo. And it's even got a full Apple logo on it, still in one piece, and the glow mod, which is cool. But this system, there's only two problems with this system, and it doesn't hamper its performance or using it. Much anyway. One, it doesn't really have a battery in it. We'll go into more detail about that later. And two, the optical drive is a Blueberry drive because it's the only spare parts one I had. When I bought this system, the optical drive, the drive bay door had been snapped off and it wouldn't close. So I don't even know if that drive actually even worked because it wouldn't stay closed. So I had a spare parts drive laying around. I replaced it with a Blueberry, and actually it still looks pretty good. It doesn't quite, the assembly of it isn't quite perfect anymore. We'll go into more detail about that. But the drive works 90%. It reads pressed CDs. It doesn't really like burned CDs, but it will read them. It just struggles, and we'll show you that. But it will read them. It just takes a while. I wouldn't boot off of this drive with a burned disk, but I think it would eventually do it. And this thing's set up for any beginner collector or anyone that just wants to tinker with one of these things. And like I said, this is going to be an international giveaway. Anyone can win that's watching this video right now, as long as, of course, it's legal to ship it to you. I know I keep repeating that. But this system, we're going to be going over everything that I've done to it to make it really nice. And I hope you guys enjoy it. And the only thing you guys have to do is be subscribed to me. I'll have to verify that, of course, during the giveaway. So as long as you're subscribed to me and you leave a comment in the description below, the comment section below, you are entered to win this. And this giveaway will be going on for 1 month or 4,500 subs. This is the thank you for 4,000 subs video also, and I want to get up to 4,500 pretty quickly, and this will help, and you guys can win something really neat. This right here, this works great, and when I say it's going to last 1 month, it's going to last 1 month or 4,500 subs. Well, I'm trying to clear this up because I'm confusing myself even saying this. It's going to last 1 month. So even if we get past 4,500 subscribers, it ends in 1 month. But if we don't pass 4,500 subscribers, I'm going to extend the giveaway period until we hit 4,500 subscribers. But I really don't want to do that. So June 9th is hopefully going to be the giveaway day. We'll see. But we have to get up to 4,500 first. So, you know, just leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, and you're entered to win. So anyway, let's go and check this thing out. Okay, so let's start by going over the system itself, the case and whatnot, and what's it coming with. What it's coming with, we'll first cover with, is a Snow iBook charger, a 45 watt. This has been converted by me to work with the old plugs. And this has been converted properly, and I didn't want to crack open the brick because it's always a pain. This is properly shielded and shrink wrapped, and as long as you don't flex it too much, it won't cause any problems. It's all soldered together. It's really sturdy. It's not going to break. And the reason why I want to give you guys a Snow charger is because, one, you can just go out and get any MacBook adapter here, pull it off, and plug it in there. So if you're international and you don't have our US 2-prong here, you can just swap it out. Plus, these are more reliable. They don't run as hot, and it's just a better charger brick. So I'm going to be supplying this for US winners. I'll also ship it out even with this for international, but you'll have to provide your own adapter for that. But I'll provide this. This is, of course, a switching power adapter. It works great. It's a 45 watt, exactly what the iBook needs. And like I said, it's properly shielded and stuff. You won't have any problems, and it works great. And we'll show you how it works on the system when I show you the system. But let's talk about the system now. So this is a 2000 iBook Indigo clamshell here. This originally came with a broken optical drive, broken charge port, but otherwise was in really good shape. The optical drive and charge port, easy fixes, which I fixed myself. But this was the base model. It came with the base 10 gig hard drive, no airport card or anything like that, and it came with 64 megs of built-in RAM. As we can see, we put in a airport card. We also put a 512 meg module in here, so it's I think 572, 576, something like that, megs of RAM in it now. And it also has a 60 gig hard drive, which I just installed last night. This has OS 9.22 and Tiger both installed on it, and I can't get the keyboard on with one hand. There we go. Okay, so it's got OS 9.22 and Tiger on it, and the case itself is in fairly good shape. When I got it, it had a sticker right here, so the light scratching on it, you can see where the sticker was. I can't do a whole lot about that. I apologize for that, but if you look, it's not too bad, not really noticeable, and really, unless I pointed that out, you wouldn't really know. And the color's actually still pretty good on it. These are known for fading really bad. This hasn't faded much at all. The case, I really really love this case compared to mine. Mine is in bad shape compared to this. The only drawback, of course, is we have a Blueberry drive, but it still looks pretty decent. The drive itself, when it got snapped off, it bent something in the case. I can't straighten it out enough, so it does stick out a little bit, but it does still line up pretty decently. And like I said, the drive works. The handle, there's not really much cracking at all on it. One small crack there, but it's still nice and sturdy. And you know, there's no real cracks in this case to really speak of. Now we get to the bottom, and this is where I said it doesn't really have a battery in it. I only put this in here for weight because I know these things get top heavy. Let's see if I can check it out here. I can't get it out, but it's stuck in there right now, but it will come out if I pried it a little bit more. This isn't really a battery. It's got the cells in it of a battery, but no controller board. I used this battery for when I was rebuilding my battery, and I used the controller board for it, for that battery. So it doesn't have it, but I only stuck it in here for weight. If you need a battery, you can find them still today, or you can rebuild, get a broken one and rebuild it. You won't be able, of course, to rebuild this one, and I'm sorry, but like I said, it's only in there for the weight, because otherwise the bottom gets really, really light, and this thing likes to flop over, which my Indigo does all the time, because I never put a battery back in it. But I only put that in there for weight. Oh, and one last thing. If you're the winner, of course, you need a personalized message. And that's what we've got right there. Congrats and thanks for your continued support. It's got my signature and Hrutkay Mods on it. So that's cool. And of course I put it in a place where, you know, unless you want to look at it, you don't have to. You know. But yeah, that basically goes over it. It's in good shape. It all works other than the lack of the battery. And the optical drive doesn't like reading burned discs super great, but it does read them. So I'll hook up, I'll set up my tripod now, and we'll boot this sucker up and show you guys what it can do. Okay, so we have the system hooked into the power brick here, as we can see here. I used my own extension, you won't be getting that. But this is the power brick. It is plugged in, and excuse the wires here. I'm trying to charge everything while I'm filming. But here's the system. It's plugged in. I forgot to mention that the charge port, I replaced it with a first generation clamshell charge port, which I'll show you real quick. It's a slightly different color. It's of course for the translucent systems, but it's 100% compatible with this system. And there's really no way to tell unless you open up the case and look. But I thought I'd mention that. The port is 100% fine. It works great. The old one was basically snapped off in the case. And I have a lot of first generation parts laying around. I don't really have any second generation parts, but charge port works great now. So let's plug it back in. And I'm going to turn it on, but as I turn it on, I'm going to turn off my lights real quick so you can see the glow mod. Lights, open it up, hit the tripod, the process, sorry, and hit the power button. There we go. That's the glow mod. I took the backing out of the case and made the Apple logo glow. It looks really good. This lighting's still pretty bad to show it to you in, but it gives you a general idea. It's got the glow mod on it. So let's turn the lights back on. Yeah, you could even see it that way. Well, anyway, you get the idea. So we'll turn the light on. Now you can't see it. We'll spin it around here. It's currently booting up into Tiger. I apologize at this angle for my tripod. It is a lot taller than my old one. I don't know how I'm going to film this. But anyway, that gives you a general idea. It has booted up. So I'm going to figure out a better way to do this. I'll be right back. Okay, so let's start by going over the specs of the system. Of course, this has a wireless B airport card in it. The first generation airport cards, not the airport extremes. So this will only work on wireless B Wi-Fi, or any Wi-Fi that is unsecured or has WEP encryption, which is not good. Trust me, it's not secure at all anymore. But, you know, it's got Wi-Fi on it and it works. As we can see right here, it is hooked up to my retro router. and it works. And we'll show you a little bit of the internet in a second. But it's got Wi-Fi, and let's go over the specs real quick. We'll go over about this Mac. And forewarning, of course, this is a G3 clamshell. It's still going to be a bit laggy. It's got a 60 gig 5400 RPM drive in it, and unless you have 7200 RPM or an SSD, they still seem a little sluggish. But it still works, it's still functional, and it will still do a lot of the things you want it to do, and even more. So we'll go about more info here. And here we go. There's the specs. We'll go over to ATA. I'll show you the hard drive specs. It's got a Western Digital 60 gig hard drive in it. It's formatted into two partitions. One's a 15 gig and one's a 40 gig. The 15's for OS 9 and the 40 gig is for Tiger. So yeah, you got that. You got the airport card here, and we're all set. Those are the specs basically. So let's go on to what else we should show you here. First off, like in the last giveaway, the G5 giveaway, I have set up the account on here to be winner. Congratulations. If you win, you're the winner. And of course this has no password on it, so if you win it, I'd of course recommend changing the password, and also you can change your name right here if you want to do that. But currently it has no password on it, and it's all set up and ready to go. It's got the PowerPC App Store on here, which will take a while to boot up. Like I said, hard drive, it's a bit slow. And it also has Tin4 Fox on here. This is FPR 13.1, the most recent update as to filming this video. But as we can see here, we've got the PowerPC App Store for anything you need. You still got all that stuff. And Adrian still maintains it. He needs to release a new update. We've been talking about it for a while, but he's still a friend of mine. He did a lot of neat things to make this functional, and basically it downloads PowerPC compatible apps for what you need. It's pretty cool, and I'll have that on your Tiger install here. Let's close that out. And then we've got iTunes 9.1.1, which is the last easily to get to work with a G3 Tiger iTunes available. I could put 9.2.1 on here, but it's a pain to get working on a G3, and 9.1.1 works the same. So we've got the most recent iTunes that this system can run easily anyway. And you know, it's all set. So we'll open up Tin4 Fox just really quick. By the way, Tin4 Fox takes a while to load. Like I said, G3s aren't speed demons, especially with this hard drive. And this is going to take a while, so I might speed this up. Okay, yeah, Tin4 Fox didn't take super long to boot up, but it did take a while. Currently I have this set up in the Classilla user agent, which would be the quickest for G3. And it will still, it loads pages pretty quick. As the internet gets more and more powerful, it does get a bit of a challenge to get it to wait a second here, to get it to load modern websites, but it will still load them, and it will do them pretty quickly. As we can see there, it just loaded Facebook, and it did it pretty quick. And we could go to Google. We'll do a search of Google on Google. It's that quick. It's still pretty quick online with the Clamshell user agent. If you use the Tin4 Fox agent, it's going to be so slow, you'll be waiting minutes to load anything, and there's no really guarantee it will actually load it properly. It should on Tin4 Fox, but still. It works, and you can load things up like Twitter on this also. And this is all real time. Here we go. We loaded up Twitter. Clamshell user agent works great. And it shows you it's still semi-useful online. You could use this to look up things, do social media and stuff. Limited, of course, with Clamshell, but it will still do it, and do it pretty well. I've done it many times on an iBook G3 because I'm crazy. But yeah, it works, and it loads it right up, and it just plain old works. So that's awesome there. Before we close out of Tiger here, we've also got our classic set up here. Let's see here. We could start Classic up, and this is running the OS 9 install basically. As we can see here, it will starting up Classic, and you know, it works. That will take a while to load up though. But while it's loading up, I do want to show you the optical drive, and I've got to figure out a way to finagle my tripod to get it to do that. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we'll start off by showing you what happens when it's trying to boot a burned CD. This is an OS 9 install I burned here. We'll just eject this drive here. Like that. That works. Set it in there. And actually, to my surprise, it's working now. Huh. It's actually working now. It's not giving any problems whatsoever. Okay, there it goes. Never mind. It's the quickest it's loaded a burned disk, but as you can hear now, it's struggling to read it. But if we sit here long enough, it will read it. There we go. It read it. So yeah, it still doesn't read burned disks super great, but if we eject it like that and put on a pressed disk like the Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge CD-ROM. This is a very interesting thing I want to do something with sometime, make a video on it. It's a really weird game. This is, of course, a pressed disk. Put it in the drive, like that. It would just read it. With no issues whatsoever. It reads pressed disks fine. So yeah, there's that. So now we're going to set this thing up to boot into OS 9, and then we'll finish up the video. Okay, so the system is off right now. Let's boot it into OS 9. I might speed this up a bit, but it's doing it under its own power. We're in the boot menu here. Let's turn this light off here. Make that focus a little better, maybe. Well, anyway, let the open firmware menu do its thing. The neat thing about these clamshells is the second generation is the only PowerPC Mac that I can think of that can boot off a USB drive without doing a bunch of hacks and stuff. This will boot off a USB optical drive, believe it or not, with no issues whatsoever. other than the fact the optical drive has to be powered because the USB doesn't supply enough power. But it will boot off of it. If you want to try that, it should work. I've done it many times on my Indigo. It doesn't seem to work on the first generations for some odd reason. But anyway, here we are at OS 9, and that was all real time actually. It was pretty darn quick. It's almost totally loaded up now. OS 9 runs so much better on an iBook clamshell, but Tiger's useful because it's more modern, and you can use OS 10 apps. So yeah, but anyway, if we go over to Apple System Profiler, we can see all the specs and all the information about the system, and it's all set up. So the last thing we'll show you real quick is Clamshell works, which is also cool. There's Clamshell. Enlarge this. Go to Google. There's Google. And they've got a weird logo today. I don't think it's supposed to look like that, but it's not Clamshell doing it. Oops. Well, let's go with that. I hit the caps lock key. Continue. There we go. Clamshell works in OS 9 quite well. And of course, like I said before, you can't watch YouTube on this, but you can pull up my Facebook page. Eventually. There we go. You can pull up my Facebook page and it works. So that's awesome. So anyway guys, that's the end of today's video. Let's go over the rules again. This contest, I'm planning on having it last a month. But if I don't get 4,500 subscribers, it will go past a month. But if I get 4,500 subscribers, it ends June 9th. If I don't, we'll extend it. I'll even make a video saying I'm extending it. But I'm wanting to try to get enough subs by June 9th. So, you know, guys, share this video in any group, any web page you find. For anyone that might be interested in winning a clamshell, might be interested in my channel, you know, I try my best to make great quality stuff here. And, you know, just spread the word, because I really, really do appreciate all your love and support. And, you know, anyway, once again, the rules are, the only thing you have to do is excuse me, now I'm losing my voice finishing up the video. But anyway, the only thing you have to do is comment and subscribe in the comments of this video. This particular video. Not any other video. Just this video. If you comment in this video and you are subscribed, you are entered to win this iBook G3 clamshell. And I wish you all of you guys great luck, and you know, anyway. So anyway, guys, once again, that's the end of today's video. Don't forget that I am now sponsored by SellYourMac.com. If you have an Apple device you'd like to sell, SellYourMac.com/Hrutkay Mods. Sell them something. It will help me out, and it will help you out, because you'll be making money. Also, don't forget, I do now have a Patreon. If you'd like to support me, I'll have a link at the end of the description. I mean, at the end of the video. And also in the description below. And this has been a Hrutkay Mods video.